Shalawama, I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. Welcome, welcome. This is astrotheology, but not the regular course. I wanted to do a follow-up on some information that we got yesterday, okay? That is on page, remember we were in the astrotheology book, The Devil's Pulpit by Reverend Robert Taylor, all right? And this is a follow-on to page 185, a follow-on to page 145. Let me make sure that we have, why is it that we have, okay, so we're good. All right, we're good. All right, this is a follow-on, page 185. Let me show y'all the document. Give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second, let me pull it up. Page 185 if you have your PDF. If you don't have your PDF with you and this is your first time with us, be sure to download this PDF. It's a free PDF, okay, y'all? It is a free PDF, and you absolutely must have this in your library. I highly recommend that you not only have it, but you print it off, okay? So print it off because the information in here is absolutely astonishing. All right, it's absolutely astonishing. Anyone who says that they're a house of Yasharala or the Kemetic, our Kemetic family needs to be aware of this information. So let me go ahead and share it. I got it. So focus on the highlighted part. All right, y'all. I highlighted what I'm going to deal with. What's going on with my, all right. So I highlighted what we're going to deal with, okay? So y'all can take a look at that. All right, everybody see the highlight? This is page, again, this is page 185 of the Devil's Pulpit. All right, page 185 of the Devil's Pulpit. Now, what we're going to focus on is right at the top where it says, let me highlight that again. Oops. And I want to add to what we discussed yesterday on this topic. This is yesterday's video was number 31, number 31. So if you weren't here yesterday for that, go back and watch that and you can get everything we discussed on this topic. All right. So worshipped by the demi-humanized orange out, y'all see that? Or otangs, orange otangs, whom we call Jews. Let me repeat that. Worshipped by the demi. So what's the meaning of demi, right? Worshipped by the demi. And then we see humanized, demi-humanized orange otangs, whom we call Jews to this day. The demi-humanized orange otangs, whom we call Jews to this day. Now, remember, y'all, this book was published in 1857. These lectures, this sermon was given on March 13, 1831, because this is a very old book, right? Very, very old book. Now, again, the author is saying worship by the demi-humanized orange otangs, whom we call Jews. So the author is calling Jews demi-humanized orange otangs, right? They were called Jews to this day. So who are the Jews worshiping? The author is saying they're worshiping Adonai, Adonai. I believe you'll find this at Strong's H 113. I think it's Hebrews 113, I believe. If not 113, it's I don't remember. But anyway, look it up in Strong's, okay? Look it up in Strong's. All right. 136. Yeah, Hebrews 136 or 113, right? Okay. So the Jews were known to be D-E-M-I, humanized orange otangs in 1831. All right. So we need to look these terms up. Who were they worshiping? They were worshiping Adonai, or however you pronounce it, A-D-O-N-A-I. Look it up. Look it up. Which they always substitute in the place of the name Yahoo, which we pronounce as Jehovah. So I'm not interested in this part. What I'm interested in and what this video is going to be about are these demi-humanized orange otangs, whom we call Jews to this day. So first term we're going to consider is demi. Next term we're going to consider is humanized. The next term is this orange otangs, okay? And then we are going to make some correlations, all right? We're going to make some correlations. So y'all hang with me. Hang with me. Let me pull up what I need to pull up. I'm going to look up the word demi. We're going to start with the word demi. Give me 1 second. All right, we need to start with the word demi. And here we go. All right, so let's pull up demi and see what we get. Let's pull up demi and see what we get. This is going to, for some of you all, this might be shocking. But if you're a Zion Law School scholar, maybe not, right? Demi. So let's look at demi. So demi, definition. Demi. Y'all see what it says? Word root means half. Half, okay? As in what? As in demi, lowercase g-o-d, okay? Demi, half. Demi relief, that would be half relief, right? Or incomplete relief or insufficient relief. 2, to some degree. Demi means to some degree. Part or partly. Y'all got that? Part or partly, half. Okay? Now, keep that in mind. It said demi-humanized. Demi-humanized. So what is that meaning? What is it meaning? Demi-humanized. Put it in the chat. What does human mean? All right, let's go back to the PDF, the Devil's Pulpit. The demi, that means half or partially human. Partially human, orang otangs. Now let's look up humanized. I'm not going to tell y'all what I'm going to do yet. Okay, so just bear with me. Give me 1 second while I pull this up. Be patient. So let me focus and get what I need to show y'all, okay? Let me get what I need to show y'all, and I hope I can find it. All right, I hope I can find it because this is quite something. This is literally something. I want y'all to see it. This is the type of thing you have to see in order to believe, all right? You have to see this in order to believe it. All right, let me pull it up. I'm going through the document now. I don't want to say what it is yet until I find it. All right. I don't want to tell you until I find it. Okay. Give me 1 moment. And I'm hoping I can get it for y'all real quick so y'all can make this connection. See, it's very important to know who's who and what's what, when, where, and how. All right. If you don't know these things, you're lost in the sauce and you're going to be most likely continue to be a victim. All right. And some of y'all are wondering, how is it that you are a victim? You don't even know that you're being victimized right now. Right. But if you are a Zion Law School scholar, you know what I'm talking about. Right. So give me 1 second, y'all. I'm searching for this definition. Let me see. It's not in the book that I wanted, that I have, but we'll find it. No worries. Give me 1 second. All right, we will find it. Maybe I have to look in a different edition. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing it here, but let's see. Maybe I can. Yeah, give me 1 second, y'all. I gotta search. I have to go to it. Maybe I'm in the wrong edition. Give me 1 minute. I'll find it. Let's see. All right. Let me see. I'm looking for this meaning in Black's Law Dictionary, y'all. Okay. 1 second. Let's see. All right. So let's see. From. All right. Yeah. So let's start right here. I found something that's not. It's not the Black's Law, but there's something about it. Let me see here if I want to show this. Yeah, Black's Law, 1930. I found it. But somebody in the chat, when y'all watch this, somebody make sure you put in here, if you have a copy of Black's Law from 1930, put a link, please. Put a link in the chat. All right, put a link in the chat for that so people can see it. All right, so here we are, Black's Law Dictionary. Okay, now let's look at this quote. Human being, y'all see that? Oh no, this is Ballantyne's Law Dictionary, 1930. So human being, it says sea monster. Ballantyne's Law Dictionary, 1930. Monster, a human being by birth. Y'all hear that? A human being in law, according to the Ballantyne's Law Dictionary, 1930, a monster is a human being by birth, but in some part resembling a lower animal. A monster hath no inheritable blood and cannot be heir to any land. Do y'all understand that? Zion Law Schools, we deal with this all the time. Zion Law School scholars. If y'all have not watched the videos, as a matter of fact, I'm going to show it. But let me repeat this again. Human being, sea monster. Ballantyne's Law Dictionary, 1930. Monster, a human being by birth, but in some part resembling a lower animal. A monster hath no inheritable blood and cannot be heir to any land. Correlate heir, or the rightful heir, to Genesis chapter 2. Mores are the substance and subject matter of the law because they are, by definition, land. Let's look it up. Well, we're not going to look up that. Go back and watch. But what we are going to look at is Genesis chapter 2. Go back and watch the video that I did on mores are the substance and subject matter of the law. Mores are the, connotatively speaking, mores are the gods and the law on earth. Okay, now let's look in Genesis chapter 2 and make the correlation. All right, let's make the correlation. All right, so here we are. Let me just make sure y'all seeing what I'm seeing. If y'all are enjoying this, if you're having a good time, continue to enjoy. Put some comments in the chat. All right. Most High servant, Michael the Great Prince says, I have the Valentine's Law Dictionary. Excellent. Possibly the only original copy. Let me know if you need a scan. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Now y'all make this correlation. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and make the correlation. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7 reads, and this is the NIV, then the Most High formed a man, that's one man, a means one man. Then the Most High formed a man from the dust of the ground. The dust of the ground is land, right? All things of value come from the land. Therefore, land is the substance and subject matter of the law. Law is for the land, right? Moors, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and show this, y'all. Let me show it so that there's no doubt. Nobody can say anything. Let me go ahead and show Black's Law Dictionary, and we will look at land, the definition of land, okay? We will look at the definition of land. Give me 1 second, y'all. We need to go and look at the definition of land so that there is no question. All right. Moors are the substance and subject matter of the law because Moors are land. Okay. And law is made for land. Law determines how land is to be used, commerce. And also what? Also how land is to be passed from one generation to the next. Y'all got that? All right. So here we are. Let's find land and let's prove it. Let's prove it. Now remember the topic we are talking about are Jews, right? Jews in the 1800s were called demi-humanized orangutans. All right. So here we are. Here's the meaning, the word land. In the most general sense, comprehends any ground, that's the dust of the ground, the soil, that's the dust of the ground, or earth whatsoever, that's the dust of the ground, as fields, meadows, pastures, woods, moors, moors, moors. Land is a noun, person, place, so on and so forth, right? Moors are land. It's a well-established principle of law that land, be it portable land, such as moors, gold and silver, right? Houses on land, right? So on and so forth. This is the substance and subject matter of the law, right? In other words, no moors, no substance. No gold, no silver, no substance, right? The subject matter, the law is to deal with moors and what we do as rightful heirs with our property. I don't think it can be more clear than this, all right? So now, let's see. Most High Servant Michael says, possibly the only original copy, let me know if you need it. I think I read that one already. Most High Servant continues to say, money's a bit tight right now. Will join Zion Law School soon. All right, excellent. I am certainly looking forward to that. Certainly looking forward to you, but you know, you're welcome to come. You're welcome to still show up in class. All right, show up in class and you can handle the, you can settle the tuition when you're able. All right, I trust you. And so now let's go back. Let's go back to our document. All right, let's go back to our document. Here we are. Let me pull it up. Let's go back to our document and bring resolution to this. All right. Oops. Hold on, y'all. That's not what I want to show. Give me 1 second. Let's bring resolution, or not resolution, but let's visualize. Let's bring this thing to life. Let's bring it to life. Let's pull the wool. Let's pull the curtain off of this thing. All right? Let's visualize it. We're going to pull the curtains off of it. Pull the dress down. All right? The demi, that means half monster. Listen to me, y'all. We're going to use a lawful meaning. Half monster, partially or partial monster. Makes sense? Can y'all hear me? I got kicked out. Am I back? Am I back? Can you put a 1 in the comments if I'm back? I got kicked out somehow. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm gonna try to share the screen. I don't know what's going on. All right, excellent. Thanks, Most High Servant. I appreciate that. So let me go back to the screen share. I don't know what y'all saw. I don't know what the last thing y'all saw, but let me show proof. You see the highlight? It says orang utang. All right, everybody see that? Orang utang. The name is a orangutan. All right, orangutan. This is images, or these are images of the orangutan. All right, now let me just show and prove. All right, let's just go back to refresh your memory. Let's go back to the document, to the PDF, the Devil's Pulpit. These old books, they really tell on it. They really tell the story, right? Orang-utans. As a matter of fact, let me copy paste this so y'all can see for yourself. I'm gonna copy paste this. All right, and then we're gonna Google it. So let's go back. Let me copy paste so y'all can see for yourself that this is real, because what you're gonna see might be shocking to many people. Okay, but it is what it is. Please have an open mind. Let me see, where are we? So here we are. You see, I typed in the word from the document, right? We see it's the same thing, right? Orangutan. Define orangutans. We see the different way this word is spelled, right? It's different pronunciations. Everybody sees that. Okay. Here it says well, let's go to the meaning. It says a large anthropoid ape, Pongo Pygmaeus or Maius. Okay, that's the genus. Okay, it's found in the forest of Sumatra and Borneo with shaggy, reddish brown hair and strong arms. All right, now let's look at another. This is Wikipedia. I don't recommend Wikipedia, y'all, but it's fast, okay? Y'all can confirm this on your own, okay? You can confirm this on your own. Now, watch what's going to happen here. Watch what's going to happen. Now, remember, these Jews in the 1800s are referred to as half monsters, half human, half monsters. And then it says orangutans. That's what we're dealing with. Now, we are in, this is with Wikipedia, orangutan, right? That's where we're at. And I'm not interested in this part. You all scholars can read this part on your own. Notice what this says. The most arboreal of the great apes, meaning that they are in the trees more than anybody, more than the others. All right. Now let's continue. Let's continue. We're going to look at their, here we are. Y'all see etymology right here. We're going to look at the etymology. All right. Now I'm going to read just a little bit, but you all have to go back and do this yourself. Okay. Go back and do this yourself. Read the whole thing. The name orangutan, also written orangutan rather, orangutan, y'all see there's an extra N in there, so on and so forth, is derived from the Malay words. This is an Austro-Asian language, right? Malay, Austro-Asian language. Orang, so it is, in other words, it is derived from a Malay word, orang, which means what? Quote unquote person, and hutan, which means forest. It means person and forest. Keep that in mind. The locals originally used the name to refer to actual forest dwelling human beings. So now we need to think critically. Do we accept this? Do we accept that the local Malaysian people use the word orang hutan to refer to forest dwelling human beings? Let's continue. I don't accept that myself, but you have to make your decision and have a good reason why. But the word, notice this, but the word orang underwent a what? Semantic extension. The word orang underwent a semantic extension to include apes of the Pongo genus at an early stage in the history of Malaysia. All right, now do y'all believe this? Do y'all believe it? Okay, the word orang, which means person, and hutan, which means forest. Okay, do you believe that those two words underwent a semantic extension to include apes of the Pongo genesis, or genus rather? The question I have is, why would the word that's used for man and woman living in a forest be extended to include animals? That, for me, that don't make no sense. Not possible. Because I'm not calling, and I'm sure you're not calling, some man or woman an animal just because they live in a rural area, right? or in a forest. I don't believe this. Secondly, how would these people know? How would they know? We know their history, right? We civilized them. We know their history. So how would they know? Okay. Now that's just for me. Let's continue. Let's continue. I want to show y'all something else, all right, about this meaning. If I can find it here. Yeah, here we are. Here we are. It's right here. Now remember, we're dealing with orangutan, right? So if you read the first sentence, it'll say the word was first attested in English in 1691 in the form orang-utang, okay? And variants ending with the suffix ng are found in many languages. Take note, the author gave his sermon and spoke those words, calling the Jews, or not calling them, he referred to the Jews, or he identified the Jews as demi-humans, right? Orangutans. That was in 1831. All right, let's continue. I hope y'all follow me. I hope y'all are not bored with this, but this is extremely important. Let's skip to this next sentence where the cursor is. It says the loss of H in Utan, right? Remember, it was Hutan, Hutan. The loss of H in Utan and the shift from ng, from the suffix ng to the suffix in only, so they dropped the G, right? Has been taken to suggest. Now listen, y'all. The suffix changed, and now they're writing it has been taken to suggest that the term entered English through Portuguese. Now, the Portuguese were involved in what? Unum sanctum. The Portuguese were involved in unum sanctum and what? Doctrine of discovery. The other papal bulls, where the Pope said, go out and enslave, kill, slaughter, rape, rob the Moors. Okay, that includes the house of Yasharala. Go take their stuff and everything that they own and possess, even their municipalities or kingdoms. You take it and give it to your heirs as an inheritance. All right, so now remember, this is coming according to this article. The H was dropped, the G was dropped, and it suggests that this new phrase or this new word came by way of the Portuguese, who were involved in denationalizing Moors, including the house of Yasharala, because we're Moors, we're from the soil, Genesis chapter 2. Okay, but here's the sentence that I want to focus on, the highlight. It says, in Malay, the term was first attested in 1840. Not as an indigenous name, y'all got that? Not as an indigenous name. In other words, it didn't come from Malay, but referring to how the English called the animal. Again, the term was first attested in 1840, not as an indigenous name, but referring to how the English called the animal. Y'all got that? I hope this is clear. The English referred to the orangutan as an animal, okay, not a person living in the forest. All right, now let's go back. Let's go back because we're not done yet. We need to do some correlations, right? We need to do correlations. Let's first correlate with more science. Let me go back to, let me take a look at these comments. Shalom, or Roderick's point of view. Finally got it back. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Jerice, back in class. What up, scholars? Most High Servant Michael says, Shalawama. Apostle says, Shalawama, Apostle, good to see you. Apostle Zakan says, Shalawama, Dr. Yasapa, good to see you here, my brother. I hope you got to hear what we've been discussing so far. For me, it's truly, truly amazing. So now let's make our correlations, scholars. Here are the correlations. More science tells us that the hybrid troglodyte nigger who classifies himself as European or white people today have their origin in research, scientific or genetic engineering research that was done in Yucatan, Mexico. That research again was done in Yucatan, Mexico, right where I'm at right now. The actual experimentation and the creation of that created being, that created entity, which we correlate to Genesis chapter 1. If anyone doesn't understand that, go back and watch the Genesis chapter 1 and 2 video series that you'll find on Zion Law School on YouTube. It'll clarify all of that, right? Basically, the story is this. Genesis chapter 1, when you look at it etymologically and historically, you're going to find that Genesis chapter 1 is not was not in the original book of Genesis, but it came during or shortly after. It was inserted during or shortly after Babylonian captivity, and it tells the story of one of the Babylonian creation stories, and it's a completely different story, creation story, than what you find in Genesis chapter 2. But you have to do that on your own because that's like a long, big discussion. All right, so the more science history tells us that is their origin, right? Now, the egg came from a Moabitess. This would be a woman who is classified as Black or African today. The egg was taken from a Moabite or Black woman, and the sperm of a chimpanzee, specifically according to more science, the Black chimpanzee, right? Everybody know, let me show a picture of that. The Black chimpanzee, which is the most violent of the chimpanzees. The whole purpose of creating that creation, that created creature, the whole purpose of doing that was to create a worker, someone or an animal that had basic communication skills, like you can give them a command and they would go do it. So the created creature was supposed to be like a farmer and a strong creature that could talk, but didn't have a lot of thinking ability, right? But it could at least understand language, that could plow fields, do hard labor, such as rowing the ships, right? And then also fight in wars as soldiers, okay? Now, we'll correlate this with the Yaqub story of the Nation of Islam, where it talked about the mad scientist Yaqub, who created the so-called white people, right? Generations and generations and generations, hundreds of years of genetic engineering, refining until we have what we see today. All right, so now these are images. Let me share with you all the images of, okay, so these are the chimpanzees. That's the troglodyte, pan-troglodyte. The nigger part has to do with its color, right? Nigger is black. That's the meaning of nigger, black. In other words, the Black chimpanzee. So the Moors, when you look at it this way, we're talking about the hybrid troglodyte, chimpanzee. All right. So now let me go back and show it so y'all can see there's nothing derogatory. It's just, it is what it is, right? Let me find the all right. So let me type in pan troglodyte. So now we'll see the pan troglodyte. See, this is the pan troglodyte, okay? Hybrid troglodyte nigger. Half man, half chimpanzee. Y'all see it? Hybrid troglodyte nigger. Half man, half primate, half monkey, half chimpanzee, and its color is black. That's where the term comes from. Now, here is what I want to focus your attention on, scholars. Here is what I want to focus your attention on. Please take note. The issue of who is the law on earth? Who is the law on earth? Who are the rightful heirs? In other words, who are sovereign, right? Who are the sovereign? That's what's at issue here, okay? So now let's deal with that right now. This takes us squarely back to human rights, sovereignty, not sovereign citizens, human rights, all right? Human rights. Who has the right to inherit? In other words, can somebody just come and take your stuff? Right? Can somebody tell you you need a license to work in your profession, or you need a license or permission to get married? Right? This is all having to do with what, scholars? Representative forms of government and what? Divine principles in the U.S. Constitution. All right? That's what we're dealing with. Okay? In other words, Deuteronomy chapter 28 cannot be discussed outside of the context of law and history, which go together. And right now, if you don't know it, we are speaking Deuteronomy chapter 28, the curses, loss of nationality, loss of sovereignty, right? That means your right to contract, your right to do whatever you want to do, your right to inherit, and your right to give an inheritance to your offspring, okay, without being harmed, okay, or stopped. All right, this is big stuff. In other words, your right to be free as opposed to being cattle, a slave, an object. All right, so now let's look here at personhood. Let me see if I can find what I wanted to find, or did I already cover it? I may have already covered it, y'all. Give me 1 second. Orangutans and humans. I lost my, oh, okay, somewhere down here. All right, give me 1 second. Now notice this, y'all. This is back at Wikipedia. So now this is dealing with orangutans in fiction. Okay, now let's look this word up, fiction. Let's make it clear. Fiction. Let's make it clear. The meaning of fiction is something invented by the imagination or feigned. All right, an invented story. Now, keep that in mind, scholars. Let me check to make sure we still got a connection. All right. Do we still have a connection? Okay. Okay, so we're still good. We still have a connection. Excellent. All right. So let me go back to this. Now, y'all, listen to this. Okay, listen and use your critical, analytical thinking mind. In fiction, in other words, in made up stories, in imaginary stories. All right. Now let's look at the image. Let me look at, okay, so y'all see the image, right? This is some type of monkey, right? A primate. Now we're dealing with orangutans. This illustration was drawn in 1870. Y'all see it? Okay, so this primate looks like is pulling this woman's hair. It looks like it looks like he pulled her head off, or it's about to come off, and the primate killed this guy. Correlate this with American history of what the colonists, the hybrid troglodyte colonists, were doing to native peoples. Not only cannibalism, but the murdering. All right. Now this is supposed to be a fiction, a made-up story, right? It's supposed to be a made-up story. So now let's scroll back down and get back to it. Well, let's see. Let's read these stories and see what we can find. All right. Let's see what we can find. Okay, here we are in fiction. Orangutans first appeared in Western fiction in the 18th century. The author wrote his book, gave his speeches in the 1800s, and have been used to comment on human society. Now, y'all hear that? Orangutans first appeared in Western fiction in the 1800s and have been used to comment on human society. Now, do y'all believe that? Who is going to correlate an orangutan with human society? Don't make sense, does it? They cannot relate to us, okay? Regardless of if they use tools or they feel emotion. There's no correlation between us and them, okay? You don't believe it, go to a, well, I don't think it's a significant a point to continue with, but let's continue. Written by a synonymous A. Adra 1010 albumlum naturae, meaning the bell of nature in 1772, is told from a point of view of a human orangutan hybrid who calls himself the metaphysician of the woods. Now, do y'all hear that? It is told from the point of view of a human orangutan hybrid who calls himself the metaphysician of the woods. All right, now remember, the author called the Jews a demi-humanized orangutan. In other words, a half monster orangutan. Okay, now let's continue. Over half a century later, the anonymously written work, The Orang-Outang, is narrated by a pure orangutan in its captivity in the US, writing in her friend in Java and critiquing Boston society. Now, who believes this? Would somebody write a book about an orangutan in captivity? Y'all hear that? An orangutan in captivity? Huh? You believe that? And this orangutan is writing about her friend and critiquing Boston society? Y'all believe that? Okay. Maybe this is not fiction. That's what I'm getting at. Maybe it is not fiction, but they have created a fictionalized story to explain it away. Thomas Love Peacock's 1870, the novel Melancholy, features Sir Oran Houghton, an orangutan who participates in English society and becomes a candidate for member of parliament. Do y'all believe that? Which is more likely? The hybrid troglodyte or a pure orangutan? All right. The novel satirizes the class and political system of Britain. Y'all see that? Oran's reliability, honesty, and status as a, notice that, y'all, as a natural man. Oran's reliability, honesty, and status as a quote-unquote natural man stand in contrast to the cowardice, greedy, folly, and inequality of quote unquote civilized human society. Y'all buy this stuff? The next book, The Curse of Intellect, written in 1895. The protagonist, Reuben Power, travels to Borneo to capture and train an orangutan. Quote, to know what a beast like that might think of us, end quote. Orangutans are featured prominently in the 1963 science fiction novel Planet of the Apes. Y'all got that? All right. I hope this is becoming clear. But we still need to make some more correlations, okay? We need to make some more correlations, all right? So let's get to it. Let's get to the other correlations. Now, remember, this article brought to our attention. Hold on. There's something else I want to show y'all in this article before we go. Where is it? Give me 1 second. I need to remember where it was. Orangutan. Give me 1 second, y'all. I need to find this. This is important. It's an important point I want y'all to see. Give me 1 second. Let me find this. Give me 1 second. All right. So y'all might notice here where it says intelligence and cognition, it says orangutans are among the most intelligent non-human primates. So you can see why our ancestors would have used them, right? You can see that. And yes, our ancestors were some of them were pretty wicked. Let me go back up and try to find what I need to show y'all. This is important. Just be patient with me, y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying this. If y'all are enjoying this, be sure to subscribe to 911 Ancient Ibriath. Okay, that's a streaming course. Be sure to subscribe to it. Also, be sure to register and come to class tomorrow at 9 a.m. This is a live online class. Or you can buy our books to support us. But give me a minute, y'all. I'm trying to give y'all some filler while I search for this important point. You can buy our books. The links to many of our books are in the description area of this video. Not this video, yesterday's video, or the other videos. I'll put it in this video. I'll put the links. Also, links to our books and other publications will be in the description area of this video. If y'all want to support us, which I would greatly appreciate it if y'all did, it would really help, really help. Or you can just do a donation if you don't want to buy anything. You can do it recurring or one-time donation. Our PayPal will be also in the description area of this video. So let me see if I can find this. I really want y'all to see this, okay? I don't want you to leave without seeing this, okay? Give me 1 second. Can't believe I didn't show it. Let me see, not intelligence. Okay, not nesting. I had it highlighted, but when I clicked on it, I lost my highlight. All right, so maybe it's here. Give me 1 second. No, not ideology, not ecology and behavior. What is this one? Characteristics. Oh, not characteristics. Maybe it's character. Give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. Oh, man. Before we make the last correlation, I want y'all to really see this, all right? So just give me 1 second. The point, in this article, it'll say in the 1800s that orangutan referred to all types of monkeys, all types of primates. So orangutan refers to all types of primates. That would mean orangutan at that time would have been synonymous with the chimpanzee. Y'all follow me? All right. So again here, let me try to refresh my memory. In Malay, the term orangutan was attested in 1840, not as an indigenous name, but referring to how English called the animal. Okay. All right. So now let me find it. I really want y'all to see that, but I'm going to take about 1 or 2 more minutes to find it. And if I don't, I'm just going to skip over it. The name of the genus Pongo comes from 16th century account of Andrew Patel, an English sailor who was held prisoner by the Portuguese in Angola, which describes 2 arthropod monsters named Pongo and Ngeko. He is now believed to have been describing gorillas. Oh, this is it, y'all. But in the 18th century, here it is, the terms orangutan and Pongo were used for all great apes. Y'all see that? So now what do we have? We have harmony or synergy with more science saying that it was the chimpanzee. The author here who gave this sermon in 1831, that an orangutan refers to all great apes. So we have symmetry with the author and Moorish science, Moorish history, and we also have symmetry with what? Neanderthal, right? We also see the correlation with the Neanderthal. Let's pull it up. Look at some pictures. And we don't have to feel embarrassed to talk about this, right? Because they refer to themselves as Neanderthals. Isn't that right? So we don't have to feel ashamed or embarrassed because they don't, right? They're selling DNA tests. And their marketing message is, how much Neanderthal DNA do you have? Okay. Now there's another extremely important correlation. There's an extremely Neanderthal. All right. There's an extremely important correlation. Everybody sees this, right? These are the Neanderthal, half human, half primate, half chimpanzee, half monkey, Neanderthal. All right. Nobody denies this. If y'all look at DNA tests, you're going to find that what? If you look at DNA tests, you're going to find that they market percent Neanderthal. All right. So now let's close this out. Let me go back to where we are. Let me see. Let me check. Let me look at the Most High Servant Michael says, oh, snap. Jerice says, awesome scholarship. I appreciate that very much. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Now, let's really dig in on this. See, that is not denied. The Neanderthal is not denied, right? They admit that as being their ancestry. Isn't that correct? That's correct, right? They admit it. They admit it. So now, let's look at the term Semite. Let's look at the term Semite. What does the term Semite have to do with this topic? What does the term Semite have to do with this topic? Why is it important to us? Why? Here's why. Here's why. Go to Zion Law School on YouTube. Go to Zion Law School on YouTube. Scroll down or search for Busted. All right. Busted. We pulled the curtains off. We pulled their skirt down. Y'all see this video? Busted, now you know. Watch this video and you're going to be shocked. Watch it to the end. Watch it to the end. It's going to identify who the Semite is. Semantics, Semite, semantics, Semite. You see the Neanderthal? Y'all see the Neanderthal? The monster? The monster? You see that? Okay, I've already told you. But you can see it for yourself in the language. You can see it for yourself in the language. You will understand why they changed Shem to Semite. That video will tell you why they changed Shem to Shemite. Understand, understand, understand. Make the correlation. Again, page 185 of the book, The Devil's Pulpit, we read, worship by the demi-humanized, the half animal. Human means monster, the half monster. The half monster, the egg of the Moabite woman and the sperm of the chimpanzee. The half monster, the Neanderthal, the half monster, the half or the Neanderthal, those who are classified as white today, worshipped by the demi-humanized orangutans. Y'all saw that in the 1800s, orangutan meant primates in general, whom we call Jews. What more can you say? Whom we call Jews. I strongly recommend to every Yasharala man and every Yasharala woman not to call themselves Jews. It is not our history. Watch the video on Zion Law School homepage that I did with Sonetta maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Deuteronomy chapter 29. Okay? Book of the Maccabees, all of that is make-believe, fiction, fantasy. That's all I got for y'all. I hope you all learned something. I hope that you had as much fun as I had going through this. Be sure to go back and watch this video again. Be sure to watch the video on my YouTube channel, Zion Law School. Be sure to watch Busted, right? Be sure to watch Busted, this one right here. And be sure to watch Genesis, okay? Genesis is where you're going to get your foundational information on Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2. All right. So watch the truth about Genesis chapter 1. Okay. Now you don't have to watch a critical analysis of Genesis chapter 1 unless you want to. Okay, because this is part 1 and this is part 1 and 2. So it's going to require some work and effort on your part to get through it, but you will be a very powerful, strong man or woman once you understand that. Now, watch Yasapa, Israelites are Moors. All Abrahamic religions are fraud. Be sure to watch that. And importantly, also watch, let me search it out for y'all so y'all get this. See, this knowledge is cumulative, y'all. Watch all the videos that I did on Moors. Yasharala are the gods and the law on earth. Watch every one of these. This will make sense to you. So, importantly, you need to understand who you are, and this important point, which you must never, ever forget, has to do with honoring your foremothers and your forefathers, which is one of our laws, Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. You must never forget this. All right. So now, after y'all watch all of the videos, especially The Moors are the law and the gods on earth. Remember this. Human being, sea monster. Okay, monster, a human being by birth. So you're not a human being, you are man. Genesis chapter 2, you are man. You are not mankind. Mankind is Genesis chapter 1. You are man, monster, a human being by birth, but in some part resembling a lower animal. That would be what? Orangutan, primate. A monster, notice y'all, a monster has no inheritable blood. That means that if you are Neanderthal, you have Neanderthal in your blood, you are not Genesis chapter 2. You cannot inherit land. Esau took Horites as wives, mixed the blood. Therefore, that line of Edomites are, guess what? Guess what they are? They cannot inherit, right? Monster hath no inheritable blood and cannot be heir to any land. This explains why a certain group of people go around robbing and stealing other people's land and resources. This explains why they push evolution. Evolution says that these people who are classified as white are the most advanced and supreme creatures on earth because they came last. They acknowledge that they came last and that they acknowledge that they descend from Neanderthal. Therefore, through their greater intelligence, greater military strength, they deserve all the land because they have the power and the intellect. As opposed to Genesis chapter 2, right? Genesis chapter 2, where all land, all of the earth is given by trust to the rightful heirs, settled upon them by the Most High. Okay? Everybody got that? This is the politics. This explains why there is a doctrine of discovery. This explains why there is religion to capture your imagination and your mind and to subject you to slavery, physical and mental. Genesis chapter 1, read it. Read it. Okay? They were created to have domination, superiority, supremacy, and control over you to make you into objects and slaves. Welcome to the curses. Welcome to the curses. Deuteronomy chapter 28, 15 through 68. If you want to get the curses off of you, return to the Most High by living according to the principles, the traditions, the values of our ancient ancestors. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Not reading scripture and quoting scripture, arguing and fighting. No, living the Most High's commandments, which are at their essence natural law. Never forget, Yasharala, that you are Moors. You are the rightful heirs and the gods on earth. You are gods. Psalms 82:6. See y'all tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link for the videos will be in the chat session. Let me see. Most High Servant says, I'll be in the lesson tomorrow and I can send the scans then. Excellent. Most appreciated. Most appreciated. Most High Servant Michael continues to say, then at that time, all right. Also, the Neanderthals mixed with Edom to get the inheritance where Edom will gain the things by the sword. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Excellent. If y'all have something that will add to this presentation, please put it in the chat, whether it's a comment, a question, a link, or something that is the opposite point of view or a different point of view. Put it in the chat because it'll help people who come in and watch this video in the future, because people do read the comments. And the whole purpose of this is education, because we all want to get into the blessings. We want to live that amazing, comfortable, lavish lifestyle that the Most High promises us in Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. We want that. So please share your knowledge, your experience, your wisdom. Don't be shy and don't be stingy with what you know. All right. So I'm Dr. Yasapa. I'm going to sign out right now. I'll be back at 9 p.m. I need to eat. I haven't eaten today. Thank you all for joining me. Share, like the video, subscribe. And if you're able to support what we do at Zion Law School so that we can make this thing grow, get more people involved. All right. Shalom.